right, so today we're here with the team at Castle Park for their Castle Dark event here in Riverside, California. I'm very excited to be talking with these guys because they have announced some really cool things that I'm looking forward to this year. This event's always just so much fun, so I'm very excited to check it out this year. But let's really quickly just go down the line. Everybody introduce yourself and kind of talk a little bit about your background in Halloween and your role here at the park.
My name's Jesse. I'm one of the props and scenic designers here, and I started 2 years ago as a performer, and then from there, luckily my skills and talents were shown through my costume, and Joseph took notice of that and offered me a position as just for the strike team, and then from there he saw more and more and then offered me the role for props and scenic, and at that point everything's taken off, and I've had the opportunity to make a few things and design a few things here for the event.
Nice.
I'm Colton. I'm the creative designer here at the park. My haunt history, I've been sliding from ever since 6th grade. I got very inspired from a young age to make my own equipment and all that. And I've also, my friend does a home haunt in Riverside, the Brewler's Home Haunt. That's been going around, or that's been here since the 1980s. I joined about 8 years ago, and I've been doing that every year on Halloween ever since. I joined the Castle Park team about a year ago as a performer, and Joseph also picked me up from seeing all the capabilities I was able to do as a performer and hired me as a creative designer.
My name is Joseph Machado. I am the creative director here at the park. I've been in the Halloween industry since 1994. Started as a kid on family home haunt, and I worked in theme parks. I did it all: Disney, Knott's, Universal. Went from performing to production and production management, asset management, and then into producing and creative directing. And I've been here, this is my 3rd year with Castle Dark, and just rebranding the event, starting fresh. It's been taking off pretty well.
Yeah, I was going to say the level that it has achieved, I think year after year since I've been, it's just kind of been stepping up and up and up and up. And I would just like to give you all credit because I feel like it's a tough job, especially when you have so many haunts here in SoCal, to reach that certain level, but I feel like you guys exceed that level every year. So, yeah, props to you guys. Before we start talking about this year's event specifically, let's kind of talk about the history of Castle Park itself. So, I don't know who wants to take that, but
I can. Castle Park was created by Bud Hurlbert. He was the original creative mind behind this whole park, and he actually assisted with the creation of the log ride and mine ride at Knott's Berry Farm, so those are his attractions. And he had a park in a parking lot in Anaheim, and he became friends with Walt Disney. And Walt and him had lunch, and then him and Walter Knott had lunch, and kind of just, he wanted his own place, so he created this place. And it started off as a family fun center with mini golf, 4 mini golf courses and an arcade, and it turned it into an amusement park, and now it's, full grown, 22 rides, and 4 golf course, award-winning golf courses, a water park, and then once he passed away, Palace is now in charge, Parque Menudos, and they started doing a Halloween concert. It originally started as Halloween concerts, and they had a party, and then they did a parking lot maze. It started in the parking lot across the street, and this is its 16th year now, where it's actually run by Palace. This is the 16th. Sweet 16. So
Sweet
we're,
16.
So we're calling it Scream 16 this year.
That's awesome. That is so cool. I feel like every year Castle Dark just gets better and better and better, and I feel like you guys add different things. I mean, this year you have 3 shows, I think.
Yes.
3 mazes, 2 scare zones, food, drink, merch, all of that, which really makes it like a full event. It's a full night worth of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of haunts that you get in SoCal that you're kind of like, you visit them, you walk through their maze, and it's kind of like, we're done. So I am very excited to see kind of everything you have laid out this year. Let's start with the scare zones. So you have 2 scare zones.
Yes.
What are the themes? What kind of is going on in each one of those? I'm very excited because there's lots of areas of this park that are just completely scare zone now. Right? There's moments where you're walking through and there's just actors everywhere.
Right.
So talk about those a little bit, touch upon each one, and kind of just let us know what we can expect from those.
Why don't you talk about Darklands, Jesse?
So the first scare zone is going to be Darklands. That area is pretty much medieval based. It's mod people. With that, we're bringing out a lot of the scenic stuff that we've had in the past, which is things that you see in mazes. You're probably going to see them outside now, and we're adding to it. With that, you're going to see anywhere from knights to peasants to lepers. So really taking in that medieval feel, especially because we're at Castle Park.
Yeah.
So why not?
Makes sense. Makes sense.
You want to talk about yours?
Yeah, so the second scare zone where you have this Midway Breakout, it's actually kind of correlating with one of our mazes this year. So Midway Breakout is, the theming is clowns have just broken out of a correctional facility and basically have taken over part of the park on it. So you will see there's a whole bunch of, let's say, chaotic, fun clowns just running around, and it's going to be just a whole bunch of chaotic fun.
Wonderful. It's like, I'm afraid of clowns, and you did that on purpose. That's great. You said it correlates to one of your mazes, so let's talk about that maze. You designed that maze? Are you in charge of that one fully?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's talk a little bit about that maze.
So our first maze, Funhouse of Demented, it takes place in one of our correctional facilities. One of the power outages has caused the facility to basically open up, and the clowns have just run rampant through the facility on that. It's one of the smallest mazes, but it's also designed to give you a lot of more theatrical effects on that, so it's a lot more interactive. A lot of the actors are going to be interacting with guests on that. And there's a whole bunch of, let's just say, new special effects this year on that will definitely take your breath away.
Okay, I'm excited to see that. So, another maze you guys have this year is called Labyrinth, correct? That is, from what I've heard from you guys, is like a find your way to the exit kind of maze. There's no one path. There's lots of different ways you can go and places to get lost. So, talk a little bit about what went into designing that.
You designed it.
You designed it, yeah.
So, Labyrinth is definitely one of the most, I would have to say, one of the most confusing but also fun layouts I've ever designed. It's on our biggest maze property we have, and basically how it's structured is you have kind of an outside wall, but in the inside there's multiple different ways you can go. So if you take a left, you can either take a left or right, and you will be basically opened into this whole hedge mage system full of creatures and mystical beings, if you like.
Why don't you touch on the creatures?
Yeah, I was going to say, what kind of creatures are we looking at in there?
So with the creatures, we're looking at these woodland style creatures. I had the opportunity to actually sculpt about 6 different masks for them, so you will see them throughout that maze. But since it's the scenic wise, a lot of camo netting, so these creatures will be blending into the walls. So you might pass them, you might not even know it, but these woodland creatures are there to, one, throw you off, but also scare you as well. And if you do get lost, maybe they'll point you in the right direction, maybe they won't.
That sounds so scary. I don't even know, like, what to expect out of that, because I feel like I'm going to be in there for a whole 45 minutes. Like, the event's going to be over, and I'm still going to be trying to find my way out of it.
We're gonna find you in the morning.
Yeah, you'll find me in the morning huddled in the corner, like, crying, like I never made it out. And then your final maze is Seance. That's the one that I'm most excited for. I love all things, like, dark and mysterious like that, Ouija boards and the paranormal, and I actually got a chance to meet your witch character at Midsummer Scream, which was absolutely terrifying. You guys did such a good job with that. Talk a little bit about that maze. What can we expect in there?
So, Seance, I had designed this concept about 10 years ago.
Woo.
And it's a maze that's just been sitting on the shelf for a while. It's based off kind of some of my favorites, like the Blair Witch and the Witch.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to see a lot of elements that kind of correlate to that. But I wanted something that was different. I wanted a maze where guests are going to be part of it. And we always say you're a part of it, but this time you are a part of it. So there are things we all know. A Ouija board is something most people say, don't touch.
Don't touch, yeah.
So you might get a chance to touch one in this maze. And then you're going through the forest, and you saw the witch. Now you haven't
Yes.
seen her. Oh no, he's going to bring it out.
Oh, there it
There's
is.
one of them.
Oh man, we're playing that right after this.
No, not in here. Not in here. But it is different because you saw the witch, but you haven't met her coven yet. And Shane, our costume designer, is designing these beautiful and ugly witches of the woods.
Ooh.
So you're gonna see her coven, and Shane, our costume designer, he just knocking it out of the park. He's a one-man show for this entire park.
Amazing. Costumes
And-
are always top notch.
Right. He does a great job, and you're gonna find yourself summoning something bad, and it's gonna take you back to the old days of this coven, and you're gonna be trapped. And
Ooh.
the maze is pitch black in most of it. It's
Oh.
pitch black, and your only light is gonna be this candle. And
Amazing.
these candles can turn off and turn on at certain points. So
That's crazy. Okay, that's terrifying. I don't know. That all sounds so creepy, and I think the entire like theatrical element that you guys have with that is going to be really cool too, to see not only the interactivity, but then you going through a maze and still having that interactive moment with the candle will be very cool. I think that's like something I feel like each one of you kind of just talked about is more interactivity between the guests and the monsters or the event overall, honestly, which is very cool. And that brings us into our next topic, shows. You guys have 3 brand new shows here. Let's talk about the Countess Allura show. What can we expect from that? I know there was a little taste of it at Midsummer Scream.
yeah.
What can we expect?
So Countess Allura is one of the most unique characters. She's our vampire queen of the park.
Mm-hmm.
And she took over last year because Lord Amethyst got pulled into the portal of Lost Souls, which is the Labyrinth.
Mhm.
So the Labyrinth is connected to last year's show. And he let her take over the kingdom. And so she is, of course, trying to bite everyone possible in this theater. And you're going to come into this awesome review where they're prepping for their Halloween party for the Scream 16 in here. And it is a very upbeat dance show. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
I heard there was some Lady Gaga going on.
There is some Gaga.
There's some
Yes,
Gaga in this show.
there is some Gaga in
Okay,
this
so
show,
it's like
yeah.
high energy.
It
kind of
is
show.
high energy. yes.
Okay, I'm excited for that. And then you guys also are bringing back your Slider show. Obviously, I feel like a haunt's not complete without a
Right.
Slider show or a chainsaw show or something along those lines where there's like a big thing. So anything new we can expect out of that?
Yeah, actually, Sliders of the Kingdom is going to be their 2 scare zones versing each other. So
Oh, nice.
clowns versus medieval sliders, in a battle. So who's going to be the better slider?
Awesome. That sounds so cool. All right, so look who just walked in the door. Lady Lou is here.
Hello.
I am like honored to be sitting with you.
Oh,
because
please, darling.
I know you have a brand new show here at Castle Dark this year.
I do. I have a show right out there in the Midway. It's called Tea Time with Lady Lou.
Okay, well, now that the kingdom is a little quiet, do you have any tea you can spill for us here?
Well, if it's quiet, I gotta keep it. I gotta start bottling it up.
You
Because
bet.
it's
Yeah,
finally
there's a
got
lot
back
I
for
heard.
the season. Yeah, well, I gotta make sure I evenly disperse throughout the nights. Keep the season interesting.
Okay, so we can go to you to hear all the
Of
latest
course.
tea of the night.
You can think of me as the proprietor of the park, the one who will make sure that you are updated and that you know what is going on within the realm of Castle Dark.
All right, so you heard it here. Tea time with Lady Lou is going to be happening outside. Well, you're going to be walking around, or you have a specific spot?
Honey, I'm gonna be everywhere this season.
Okay.
You can catch me out there with Tea Time with Lady Lou.
You got to get bits and pieces of the
right
tea everywhere.
2 times a night.
Ooh, 2 times a night.
With
You
new
get
tea
tea.
each show.
Okay, this changes
So
the
I'm
game.
You'll also be able to catch me right here on the big top stage in Countess Allura's show.
Nice.
She performs a number, honey.
Okay, are you in that number?
Of course.
You do some dancing?
Some selective movement
Okay, that's
to
good.
music.
All right. That's good enough. That would be me too.
Right.
So
And you'll also catch me at the Slider show.
are you sliding?
No, honey, we're pulling a rose parade.
Okay,
We'll
look
be
at
the
this.
announcer.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
No better person to do
Of
it than you.
course.
So
Who better
obviously.
to give their unsolicited opinion than me?
Exactly. We love that.
Right,
I feel like this is exactly what Castle Dark needed.
Right,
Was someone like
it
you
is.
to kind of run this show.
Someone to really straighten everybody out. We got these clowns out here clowning around town. And we got the people in Darklands acting like peasants. We gotta straighten everybody out.
You better. I better see you out there doing your
Of
thing.
course.
Getting everybody in check. And I'm coming to you for the tea.
You got it, honey.
All right. We will be there.
I can't wait.
Well, welcome back. We had a nice little chat with Lady Lou right there. I'm very excited to see what Lady Lou does. Lady Lou's just chilling in the back now. Feel free to interject if you need to,
I
get
will.
these guys in
The trick
shape.
will be getting me to shut up.
All right, so I heard you guys are also introducing alcohol this year, and a tasting card as well, I think.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that. Is there anything you've tried or anything you've heard or anything you've come up with that you guys are excited? I'm assuming it's all themed.
It is all themed. I heard there is going to be a blood bag that is
Okay.
going to not only help your vampire instincts, but maybe some personal instincts you might need to help with enjoy the night. The tasting cards are going to be available the first night, and there's some great, delicious treats. Now, the tasting cards, I was told, do work on food and alcohol.
Ooh,
So that's a nice.
We love that.
That's a nice plus.
Yes.
And there is some themed foods, and I can't wait to see what we're gonna have. There's a lot of
I know.
desserts in there too. So.
Ooh, nice. Yeah. So I mean, that goes back to the overall event of staying here all night kind of deal. It's not like a little you go and you do their 3 mazes and you leave. You can eat, you can watch shows, you can do the mazes, and then you have a party in here afterwards.
We do on Saturdays and on Fridays and Saturdays. There's Castle Dark After Dark, and that's from 10 to 11:30 in here. And it is Countess Allura bringing out all her vamps and the vampettes, and they're going to throw a party. So the show is
Ooh.
prepping for the party, and then you can finish the storyline by coming to the actual party.
All
and
right.
Dancing, drinks, food in here. And
See, we have to be there. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
So after you're done getting scared, you come in here and you just party the night.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, that's awesome. And then merch. You guys got new merch coming out too. I
We-
saw previews of that at Midsummer Scream, and then a merch store at the end of one of your mazes.
Yes,
possibly?
so we do have new merch with all of our signature characters that are going to be on hoodies and shirts available. Castle Dark hats, keychains, all the fun stuff. And then at the end of Seance, you're going to find yourself in the gift shop of the museum that you started in.
Ooh,
And you can purchase some merch.
full theming
Yeah.
all the way around. That's if you make it though.
That's if you make it to the gift shop. If you come back, yeah.
If the witch doesn't get you or terrify you out of the maze
Right.
at some point, so you should be good. So another really cool thing that I want to touch upon, not only are you getting all the haunts and scares that you guys come up with and create, but the park is actually haunted and has its own paranormal history. Is that correct?
Absolutely. This place scares me at night. Yeah, we are a family-friendly park, but there are some spooky ghosts in the park at night, and we've had a couple incidents just with the seance maze already. Just last week, we had some fingerprints show up on the inside of our little display case that were sealed, so we're a little curious how that got there, and then just disappeared the next morning. So that was fun. There's been spottings of an actual, some say Lady in White in the park, and I have no idea. I don't want to see it. I already seen enough Lady in White. So, people talk about the Big Top Theater, hearing things in here, where it's dark in here right now.
I
You
know,
guys
we're
can't see,
sitting in here
it's
right
dark.
now. It's kind of creepy.
But I'll tell you, I have to close and turn off the lights, and I run out of here as quickly as I can. Even Lady Lou, you've seen things in here.
Well, honey, I've been here for what, almost 50 years?
Can you tell your friends to knock it off?
Well, listen, that's what you get for letting in the riffraff.
Well, that's exciting because you get the scares of everything you guys create and the added bonus of maybe experiencing something here that was not created by you guys, which is always super cool.
Yeah, and to think of it too, like, sometimes lights should be off, lights turn on. If you ever walk this park at night, it is dark, and it is absolutely terrifying when it's dark. But yeah.
So something unique and different you guys have this year is a VR maze. Let's talk a little bit about that. I know no other parks around SoCal really that I know of offer something like that. So kind of touch upon that. What can we expect from that? Because it is virtual, but it's still scary.
Yeah, it's called the Sinister Inn. It's a new VR experience that we're partnering up with another company to bring to the park. It will be an upcharge in the park, but it is like you are in this very creepy hotel going floor to floor, and each floor it gets worse and worse. And I did it. I had to stop at one point because I couldn't keep. I don't do spiders.
Me neither.
It was bad. It was like facing your fear. Like you got to fear multiple things are in that.
Yeah, that sounds terrifying. I don't know if I'd be able to even get past floor number 1. But we'll try it. VR just is terrifying. Have you guys done this maze too?
I've also done it on that. It's definitely interesting. It kind of takes a new perspective on mazes on that. Because every time you turn a corner, it kind of takes you to a different floor on that. And as Joseph said, then each floor kind of challenges a different fear that everyone has. I have to say, all the mazes this year are definitely challenging the standard mazes on that. Especially with labyrinths, it's not traditional where you just go straight through. You can go multiple different ways. Seance is definitely a unique one as well, taking you from a kind of museum, transporting back in time, and then into complete darkness, and then Fun House with its theatrical and very special effects this year.
Ooh, that all sounds so cool. Let's talk a little bit about a pass holder lounge you guys have coming.
Yeah, so any of our pass holders that have the Castle Dark admission with it will get to enter our Castle Dark annual pass holder lounge this year here inside the Big Top. It will be decorated all out. There'll be some special offerings for you and surprises, and a photo op inside as well. And you might even see some certain characters with gossip inside there.
Oh, me?
Surprise!
Surprise, yeah.
We booked you another gig.
Right.
Lady Lou's
Been
everywhere.
busy all season long.
And then your cabanas. What are those?
So this year, over by our water park, as you near Labyrinth, there is going to be cabana rentals. And if you and your friends want a place to hang out and have reserved spots and take your food and drinks and enjoy yourself in a decorated Halloween themed cabana, you sure can. So if you want to throw a little Halloween party, you definitely can do that this year.
At the cabana. You know I'm gonna be throwing a Halloween party there. Come to my cabana. I'm just want to thank you guys again for doing this, talking with me. I'm very excited to see what you guys have, in store for everybody this year. You guys all knock it out of the park, every single one of you in every aspect. So thank you again for joining me here. That is the alarm, which means the nightmare is over. Thank you guys again for joining me. Castle Dark is running September 20th, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays until October 27th. And tickets are available online at castlepark.com. Definitely check those out now. You can get them. They're already available. And hopefully we see you guys here. Thank you guys again. Make sure you guys are following Castle Park and check them out this year. This event is so much fun. I cannot wait to see what they have in store. And you've got to hear the tea from Lady
It's not to be missed, honey.
Lou. All right. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye-bye, guys.